cash crop farming, COK's pension plan, and Spur Tree Sauces kickstarts this week's show. Welcome to Agriviews, where agriculture takes center stage as we inform you of all things brewing in the sector. Stay tuned. Resource District is a farming community located to the south of Manchester. The over 400 acres of property is used to cultivate mainly produce used by householders, as the issues that exist are great and need serious attention.
In this area, I actually born and see most of the people here doing farming. So we have no other option than to do farming because there's no other opportunity given to us. So we have to utilize what we have in order to survive. About 20 years ago, I resorted to farming because I was trying to get something else to do, but there was nothing else here. So I had was to do farming. I eat scallion, I do some sweet pepper, pumpkin, I do watermelon at times, tomato. But because of the drought condition, I have to stick to the one that are more resistible to drought. So I like the sweet pepper and the scallion and the pumpkin will resist the drought for a while. But after a time, it starts to give in. But like the tomato and the melon, it needs water to pull through. We have to depend on the rainfall, and we seldom get rainfall this side. We have two catchment area, and it's a big farming area, and we hardly have water in it. One is not functioning, one is leaking, the other one functions, and when rain falls, then it will catch water. But using head and donkey, it is really hard to supply your field with water the way you'd like to.
The process of irrigation is one solution to the lack of water faced by the farmers in the district, and we were told that this has already been queried, but with no results.
Yeah, we are not supplied with irrigation system. I realize that a lot of people have tried, but it have become unsuccessful. We actually lobby for irrigation water. There's a water system further that side, but for some reason we just cannot get it to extend to come here in order to get it to do the farming. We actually reach out to mainly the member of parliament and the councillor. Honestly, I don't know if they have pushed any effort, if they have lobbied on our behalf, but we have heard nothing. There's a JAS in Mandeville, but I have never heard of them lobbying on our behalf for water down here.
Another problem of the community is that of marketing.
Marketing is one of the prime factor because we have to depend on Coronation Market, and there are times when the produce becomes so much, and then when you bring it to Coronation Market there is not any good price, and then we lost a lot of our produce and stuff like that. So if we could get marketing for the product, then we could do more and we would do more in order to extend our agriculture supply. Whenever time we get good rainfall, the farms will yield a lot, and then we don't have enough higglers to sell to, and then the price is not good at the time. So there we go, we lose again.
Just Add Meat is the essence of Spurtree Spices Jamaica Limited, whose aim is to provide the local and overseas markets with a unique taste of Jamaica through their spices. Directors Mohan Jagnarine and Albert Bailey tell us of this venture.
We're an agro-processing company focusing on the flavors of Jamaica, trying to create the flavors of Jamaica. That's what our business is about. It's blending flavors and creating a unique, good flavor with all the different passions and diversity and whatever. So that's in a nutshell, that's what I would say Spurtree is.
Products that we have at Spurtree Spices are pretty unique in nature. We have a range of seasonings and we have a range of sauces, but we also have additional products that speaks to the various flavors of Jamaica. As we like to say in Spurtree, all you have to do is to just add meat and cook. So we have gone out and developed these seasonings with the consumer in mind for their convenience, because we know these are days when people are very busy, have very demanding lives, and we are looking at and interacting with our consumers and listening to them and also developing products to meet their needs and wants.
The world is moving so fast that I don't think people are going to cook. Nobody's going to cut up seasoning and cut up garlic and cut up and be cooking again in that type of, so you have to look ahead and see that the truth of the matter, generations are moving very fast forward.
The Best New Exporter 2010, the Best MSME Exporter 2009, and Best New Sauce, Oxtail Seasoning 2010 to 2011 are a few of the achievements of the company, and the intention is to continue this trend on the path to excellence.
If you compare our sauces to other sauces on the market, our sauces will always come out on top because the ingredients, the percent, like our pepper sauce, the percent pepper that is in our pepper sauce is higher than, we can say that, higher than any other competing pepper on the market. So when it comes to quality, I think Spurtree Spices is all about quality. In terms of quality is actually one of our core values, excellence in quality. Spurtree Spices is focused both on the local and the export market. In fact, we started the company by looking first at export, and therefore in the early years of the company we primarily focused on export because we saw the need to get into export in terms of, to help to grow and to make our contribution to the economy.
We won Champion Exporter for small and medium-sized catering for about 4 years from both JEA and JME. Every time we applied, we won. And because we have grown our export and we could show where we start. We start by shipping one bucket and doing one little pallet. And then we start into the containers.
The impact of the company on the local market is a growth of up to 44% last year, and they have been working assiduously to improve that. One marketing strategy is their presence in the supermarkets across Jamaica, showcasing and allowing consumers to sample the products manufactured. Marketing is a major problem for some of Jamaica's small farmers, and Spurtree has been doing their best to assist in this area by purchasing cash crops from local farmers as their way of assisting in the building of the Jamaican economy.
But our farmers are the bedrock of our business. Let me say this, that we as a company cannot survive without our farmers. Jamaica has quality farmers and it has quality products. And that is why we're confident when we establish our vision to use the flavors of Jamaica, the natural flavors of Jamaica, that we would have been successful. And we are seeing the benefit of that vision.
From the time we started this business, I've always told farmers, you plant, we will buy. I don't know where the money will come from, but we have been doing that. Because if you don't do that, when we started first, a hurricane came and Scotch bonnet pepper, we had just won a contract to supply sandals with seasoning. And a hurricane came and we couldn't get those Hurricane Dean, and we couldn't get any pepper. We had to buy pepper at $500 per pound to supply the market. But I believe that if you make a commitment to supply, you cannot go back and tell the people that there's no pepper. That's not their problem.
Hi, my name is Warren White and I'm the production manager for Spurtree Spices. This section is our receival area where we receive all raw materials and we do a selective sampling. So if, for instance, we have onion coming in, we will look for sprout and onions. We currently have none on this one now, which we will say this is good to go. After doing our selective sampling, then we weigh off all materials coming in on a scale actually certified and passed by the Bureau of Standards to ensure that we are maintaining standards by weight before actually starting our process. This section we have an unwashed sink before we enter the production area. We'll put it in a foot-operated bin. This section now is our prep area, where we do all the prepping, pre-process of all raw materials before actually going over to the production side. Today we are prepping curry for curry seasoning. This is actually a project also by the Agriviews High School. On receiving pepper, we pick pepper. The selective peppers are for the Scotch bonnet pepper sauce, while, say for instance, we might get peppers with black seeds. This one will be discarded. If we should use this in the pepper sauce, this will just pop out and show up. Moving on, we go to the sanitation process of the bottles. We're running curry in 10-ounce bottles today, and also plastic bottles, 13.1 ounce. Reason why we sanitize, bottles may come in with extraneous matters, that for one, and also it makes no sense we actually do a sterile product and put back in a dirty container. That will just forfeit the operation of getting a fully aseptic product. This section we have the vertical cutter. We will blend the thyme, scallion and onions. Moving from this, the vertical cutter, we'll actually move to the breader, where all ingredients are combined, such as the dry ingredients, the scallion, the thyme, water, in order to make up the complete batch. Then we'll blend. After the blending process, we'll pump from the breader over to the kettle, which we cook at a temperature, we go to 195 degrees Fahrenheit, because we do not bottle below 180 degrees Fahrenheit. This is an automatic temperature control, which what happens is that as soon as the product falls below 185 degrees Fahrenheit, it will actually chip in and send back steam on the product. So we maintain an average 185 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. The product is also agitated, so we have a consistent product coming out. Now from the kettle, as soon as we reach temperature, one of the production supervisor will come around, verify that the temperature is correct, which he or she will record on a process schedule or the production master batch sheet. After we get the go-ahead from the production supervisor, then we start bottling. Here we are just running one line today, so we are using a double-head filler and we are filling 10-ounce bottles.
You saw the process. You come through the goods inwards, it then goes into preparation, and it comes to prep goes into production. Production gets finished and packed in cartons, and it comes through to here. It's a one-way street, it goes one way only. According to all the HACCP principles, it must not go back that way. So once it's finished in there, it's sanitary, it's packed, it's ready to go to the customer, whether it be in Jamaica, or the US, or Canada, or the UK, or wherever. Okay, so this is the end of the process. This is the whole point of that process there, is to have goods here that we can export and we can sell locally. And currently, they may have told you 80% of our sales go abroad. This is our basic stock room. It's always being replenished. As fast as we put it on the floor, we send it back out again. Very rarely do we have things here for some time. Every single product is coded with a batch, of a batch code. The date it was produced, date it's to sell by. That batch code, we have all the records tracing it back to what raw materials went in there. We know where it's going in the US, so we can track it right the way back through and know if there's a problem ever, it was because of this, or we can check to see what it was. So that traceability is critical for the markets, all the markets abroad, and for Jamaica as well. So the process really ends here, and this is where the goods are going overseas, wherever they're going, and then when they reach with their destination, we also make sure that they sell, that they move off the shelf. Otherwise, the first container that goes out will be the last order you'll get. And you may even get some of the stock sent back. So it has to sell, it has to go on a shelf and sell to the consumer wherever it might be. So to back that up, we do demonstrations and tastings in all our major markets with people that we employ, so that we can manage the whole process and make sure people try it. If they try it, they're going to tell their friends, and they're going to start to reorder, and we'll get repeat business. Every carton we can buy locally is bought locally. These are all made here by Jamaican people, Jamaican companies. The labels, every single label, is produced in Jamaica by Jamaican companies, because we believe if we give people employment, they will buy our products as well. It has to stay here.
Pension schemes are necessary investments as it relates to retirement. This puts us all at ease, knowing that during our golden years, we are still able to cover at least the basic requirements. The City of Kingston Cooperative Credit Union now emphasizes this need in a joint venture with the Jamaica Agriculture Society for the farmers across Jamaica.
COK as a credit union is a member-based organization. It seeks at all times to provide services and benefits to improve the well-being of our members wherever they are in Jamaica. We have a large member base in the productive sector of farming, and we recognize that for a large number of farmers, when they retire, they have no other source of income. And so because we offer a pension product, really our trustees of the credit union have come together since 1988 and provided a pension scheme so that the members of the credit union who currently do not have a pension offering because they are either self-employed or because where they work do not offer a pension product, we are able to provide that service for them. The farming community we see as an opportunity of need, because the farmers really They are self-employed, and as a result, they are not benefiting from a future earning in pension. And so we have come up with this package that can afford farmers, no matter how small a farmer they are or how large a farmer they are, that will be able to provide this additional source of income at retirement. Since we launched this arrangement with the Jamaica Agricultural Society, we have been overwhelmed with the response. The farming community across the length and breadth of Jamaica have received our offering very well. The number of questions that have been asked of us, the signing up in terms of this product has been overwhelming. We are seeing that the farmers are very, very interested, and so because of that, our offices, we have been going across Jamaica to engage farmers, to advise, to speak to them about it, what it requires, how it can help them and their families, because it's not just about the individual, it's about the entire family. And so we are very, very pleased with the response that we have received from the farming community.
The Security Interest in Personal Property, SIPP, is a recent legislation for farmers to be able to access loans to improve or increase products and services.
What I believe the legislation is seeking to do is for us to be able to use the crops or the produce of the farmers as security. At this point, we cannot use stocks as security, but that does not prevent us from allowing our members to have access to credit. What we are seeking to allow the crops or those farmers to use is a cycle in terms of the repayment of the loan, because a lot of time they are unable to pay in weekly, fortnightly or monthly tranches, but on a cycle that when the crops come to harvesting, they are now able to pay. So what we are able to do is to structure the loan repayment in such a way that we can take payment based on the cycle of harvesting.
Now, if I were to walk you through the process, it would entail obtaining the basic information that our application form initially requires, such as your name, your date of birth, your address, your NIS number, your TRN actually, and more importantly, your beneficiary. Now that's a key component, and recent regulations have asked us to obtain additional information for your beneficiary, such as your date of birth of the beneficiary. And then the farmer then would have the opportunity to outline exactly the amount, the percentage that each beneficiary should obtain, along with the beneficiary contact information and their address. When we have our farmers monthly meeting, because every district, whether it's a first Monday, a first Wednesday, second Monday, second Wednesday, we will actually come out and continue the process. So it's not a matter where you have to necessarily go to a COK location, because we have 5 island-wide, as you know already: Half Tree, Crossroads, Portmore, Montego Bay and Mandeville. The member doesn't have to worry about having to, oh my gosh, I have to get a photocopy, how do I access a machine? You come with the original documentation, we will photocopy it for you. If it's a case where you don't have a copy of a photograph and we need one, we will take the picture for you, and it's at no cost to you. So it's accessibility, and that's what the retirement scheme is all about. When you think about retirement, know that while it is that only you can do it for yourself, because your spouse can't do it for you, your children can't do it for you, the long-term effect is that your beneficiary, your family members, are the ones who benefit in the long run in the event that something happens to you. So we want our farmers to take a holistic approach. It's not just for me, but it's for my family as well, and it will really serve to alleviate some of the costs, especially medical costs as we get older. So the retirement scheme would be very important for that.
The discovery of agriculture was the first big step towards a civilized life. Do you have a question or comments? Drop us a line at focusedmedia2k15@gmail.com. Thank you for watching Agriviews. Until next week, stay tuned.